May we all stand, please. Father, we honor you as being the great and loving God. We thank you for another opportunity you've given us to serve you by serving your people. We thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the wisdom and direction you will give us. We thank you, Lord, as you speak to us and speak through us today, that we will make quality decisions, decisions that will enhance the quality of life, that will have eternal value for generations to come. We thank you, Lord, as we submit and commit this meeting to you, that you might be glorified in all that we do. And Lord, we ask a special blessing, a special move of your spirit over the people of the Bahamas and over all those who have been affected by Hurricane Dorian, that you will move and heal and minister, that you will comfort and restore life and quality of life to all those people. So we just thank you for this time, Lord, we have today, and we give you all the glory and praise for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Very good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, Council, take a look at your agenda for this evening. If I don't have any changes, I'll take a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
make a motion that we approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Properly moved. I have a second.
Second.
And second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, agenda approved. All right, Council, I'll give you a minute or so to refresh yourself with the minutes that were emailed to you. So for the approval of the August 26th, 2019 City Council meeting minutes. If we have no changes, Council, I will take an approval for the minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the City Council meeting on August 26, 2019.
All right, properly moved and second. Second. All right, you go. That was Councilman Clanton on the second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Meeting minutes approved. Madam Clerk.
I have public comments from Brenda Alsbury.
Good evening. My name is Brenda Osbury, and I live in the Parks of Stonecrest. I am here on behalf of our community and myself regarding the continued frustration and the inaction of the city to aggressively deal with Mr. Nurse, who manages the short-term rental at 3324 Dogwood Pass. Nurse continues to violate the ordinances over and over again. When he received and was approved for license to operate the short-term rental, he signed a legal document through Stonecrest City to abide by all rules and regulations. When I arrived home after being out of town on Tuesday the 3rd, I felt as if I was living in the hood. When you contact the police regarding the noise ordinance, they refer you back to code enforcement and the City of Stonecrest. Last week, I emailed several questions and responses on Wednesday, September the 4th, to our representative, Jimmy Clanton, the interim city manager, Julian Jackson, and code enforcement, Al Farrell. The short-term rental was in violation of parking on the street, and they knew that. The DeKalb County trucks could not get down the street to retrieve trash, etc. I also learned from my neighbors in my absence that there were at least 10 cars parked on the street over the weekend. The police were called, and most recently, an ambulance was at that residence this past week. What in the world is going on at that house? I did hear from Al Farrell. He shared that there has only been 3 violations since the issuing of his license this year. And so, as of last week, it should be 4. I shared my comments with the officials mentioned above, expressed that 3 violations is 3 too many, especially since Nurse has illegally signed documents with the city and continues to violate the ordinances. Nurse has a track record of not abiding by the HOA and city ordinances prior to being issued a license this year. After that comment, I initiated a request that Al Farrell or his designee should visit the house. He complied with another officer. I, along with my neighbors, we want to know when is enough violations required to revoke and or suspend his license to operate short-term rental in the parks of Stonecrest. We continue to send pictures, etc., and he has no intentions of abiding by the rules and regulations. In the past, for the city to aggressively act on the matter and do the job that you have been elected to do, and that is to protect the welfare of the people who live in this community. The reality is this person will continue to violate the ordinances because that is who he is. Again, what the city and code enforcement has been doing clearly is not working. Stonecrest City homeowners are super tired and frustrated over this matter, and we deserve better. I, along with homeowners, solicit your help in aggressively resolving this matter. Action speaks louder than words.
Thank you, ma'am.
Warren Miller.
Mayor,
Mr. Miller, long time.
long time, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Sir, we come before you to introduce our technology services. We are local, minority-owned DBE companies that, with over 30 years of technology integration services, have done stuff with the Olympics, the New Birth Project. We've done the Cobb County Schools. I've got my colleague here, Mr. Perry. I'll let him introduce him and his activity. I'm with WDM Enterprises. We specialize, we are a Cisco reseller. We focus on integration, and we are Georgia low voltage licensed company. We're Georgia DBE certified, and we're looking forward to assisting this city as it moves forward with opportunities of development. This time, I'd like to yield to Mr. Perry.
Good evening.
All right. Good evening.
My name is Perry Thompson. I'm from Integrated Communications Network. We're right here local to the Stonecrest community. We've been incorporated since 1996, and we're primarily focused on low voltage, voice data, cameras, access control, what have you, whatever your needs would be. We're fully capable of meeting all of them.
With that, we've got another colleague. He was not able to be with us. DSR, Data Set Ready. They are also Georgia local, primarily focused in the camera. One of the other things that we've got expertise is that we've worked with the public safety with regards to communication systems. Recently completing a project where we've done integration with a county, putting in their emergency E911 system with their police, fire, sheriffs, and the local municipalities. So we're looking forward, as you all are developing, to the opportunity to work with you to bring quality technology services, to collaborate not only with the front end, but the continued support services as that we work with the Cobb County Schools.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good seeing you again, sir.
Denise Powell.
Good evening, Mayor Larry
you
and
doing?
members of the board.
All right.
It's great to see you this evening. I am here on behalf of the American Institute for Resource and Human Development. My name is Denise Powell, doing business at 7310 Stonecrest Concourse, and I am here with Dr. Fredeline Ananobi, who is the Executive Director of AIRHD. We are here to invite the City of Stonecrest to be a part of an amazing event that we've got coming forward on November 16th, 2019, which is a Saturday, and it is the International Unity Day Festival. It's going to be at the AEI Startup Factory. we would like to invite the city council members to come out. We have the support of Congressman Hank Johnson, Representative Abel Mabel Thomas, Dr. Joyce Morley of the DeKalb School Board, and they have indicated that they plan to attend and bring greetings. We would like to invite you all to do so as well. The purpose of the International Unity Day is to bring together, there are 500 countries represented in Metro Atlanta. And although the city of Stonecrest is like 94% African American, our goal is to bring as much representation from those 500 countries as possible to the Stonecrest area and expose the international community to Stonecrest as well, and basically to bring that to Stonecrest. We are planning a short film showcase in the afternoon from 2 to 4. And in the mornings, we are planning workshops including guided meditation, traveling, doing business, and studying abroad, which is Dr. Ananobi and AIRHD's primary mission, which is international and educational enrichment. They've gone on several Fulbright study excursions to Tanzania and various parts of Africa, and they will be doing a workshop on that. I want to yield a little bit of time to Dr. Ananobi just to speak with you just for a moment.
Yeah. What date was that?
Saturday, November 16th.
Thank you, my honorable members of the panelists of protocols observed. Without taking your time, Ms. Dennis is one of our American Institute for Resource and Human Development. And while we are here, we are living in a global village. And the United Nations has recognized for a long period of time an international month from November 1 to 30th of November. So we choose 16 because it is an international week that is recognized by UN as a tolerance day. So we are asking, by all means, members to help us publicize these opportunities to the community, knowing very well that this community is part of us. I live in Conyers, Georgia, and there was also former dean of Georgia Perimeter College International Education. I still work with the universities, and today our mission is to educate teachers on global education who will pass global education to students. And this November, we are going to bring all the multicultural dynamics of Georgia together in Stonecrest area. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, appreciate it. Madam, I'm going to put you in contact with a lady by the name of Solange Warner. She is the chairwoman of the World Chamber of Commerce. And I got appointed to that last month, so I got an opportunity to work internationally.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that you two link, and that would help this program tremendously.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. All right.
Dave Marcus.
Good evening, Mayor Lowry, council members.
Good evening.
Two things, none of them really significant. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Men's Warehouse. We hear a lot about, and I complain a lot about, really bad service. I went shopping earlier this week for some things. Went to Macy's and it was, yeah. Went to JCPenney and they were nice but didn't have a lot of stuff. Went to Men's Warehouse, and just got great service, great selection, great prices. It was clean, it was orderly, and it's a star. So I just want to put that out there. The other thing is there are two things that I think probably everybody in the room, certainly everybody in District 5, would like to see on your agenda as soon as you can. And that is the already drafted ordinances on party houses and on dollar stores, or the stores on the category of stores under which dollar stores happen to fit, as well as some convenience stores. I understand it got yanked from the agenda at the last meeting so that it could go through the Planning Commission, as it properly should. But I just want to say that was a little disappointing to those of us who had seen it on the agenda. These are significant issues. And we all, I think, hope that it will be on the agenda as soon as you can have it in the future. I look forward to going to the next Planning Commission meeting, and as a matter of fact, I just checked the website to see when it is. And it's not there. So if somebody could let me know, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. And Rob Turner, you just get more eloquent every meeting with your blessings. Yeah. It's couple.
Okay. It's kind of deep out here.
Geraldine Champion.
Yes, ma'am.
To the mayor and all the council people up there, I just want to say I don't feel like being here, but I represent a whole bunch of people. I want to kind of clear the air, clear the record. Mr. Mayor, you have perceived me as being disgruntled and mad. You call it mad. I call it angry. Well, whatever word you want to use. You haven't seen me mad. And you don't want to see me mad. The only thing that will make me mad is someone tried to harm me or my family. And you'll see me in action. Okay? There's a lot of red flags in this organization. I was trained to identify red flags in all my years of working in law enforcement, but I let it go at that. I've asked, and what I can understand, other people for an open record request. Anybody that's thinking about being a lawyer knows that when you deny a citizen or anybody else, that request is court time if you don't give it. So it's court time. I was kind of irritable the last time I was here at the way you treated this backwood trash, getting up calling myself and that pastor who disagreed with you ignorant, that he's not even a member of Stonecrest.
I call who ignorant?
Oh, you having a lapse of memory? Okay.
No, I
All right.
don't call anybody ignorant. I don't do that.
Run it back around. Run the tape back around. Okay. Like I said, that backwood trash not even a member of Stonecrest. You should not allow it.
What backwood trash? I'm sorry, Mr.
The one that got up here and called me and the pastor ignorant. Okay? Run it back around if you don't remember, because I know you're recording all this.
Okay.
That code enforcement that you have is a joke. It's, if you call them, first of all, you lucky to get them. If you get them. You shouldn't have to call a council member to get a code enforcement person out to you. Okay? I had an occasion to call one. After sitting there for about 20, 30 minutes, code enforcement drove up, sat in their vehicle about another 10 minutes. The situation was going on. It was going on at that time. And when they got out of the car, they had been sleeping in that uniform. Appearance is number one when you're doing authority. But it's a whole lot of stuff that's red flag here, and I just want to give you a few of them.
Thank you, ma'am.
No more public comments.
All righty then. Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have no appointments. We have no public hearing. Go to new business, council. We covered a firm policy consulting contract and amendment in our executive session. I'll take a motion to approve the amendment for his contract. Mr. Mayor, I offer the motion to approve the contract for Firm Policy Consulting LLC with the amendments.
All right. Properly moved. I have a second. I'll second. Okay. Discussion.
I know I missed the first half of the executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
We go over the amendment to the contract? I have a question about one of the areas in the amendment, which I apologize if you all discussed.
You have a copy, Councilwoman?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Okay. All right.
Under the additions to, I guess this, what you agree to deliver, under the contractor will. It says accept payment of $2,500 each month for provisions of the above obligations. I just wanted to know, was that in addition to the $100 an hour, not to exceed $4,000 a month?
No.
Or we has, oh, okay. Okay. So that
That
25
is-
is,
The 25 is for that grouping of services right there above that.
oh, and then the difference
And then
is for
the difference would be, you know,
the remainder in the original contract. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Just a matter of clarity, this finishes out 2019.
right.
Okay.
All right. We have a motion on the floor and a second with regards to approval. Any further conversation? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Thank you, Ms. Thibodeau. Councilman George Turner, we didn't quite get to the census side of it. How do you want to handle this?
Just want to add it in and make a recommendation.
Okay.
As all of you know, we're coming up on the year 2020, and the census is going to take place starting technically on April 1st. Prior to that, we need to make sure that the city takes a position on the 2020 census and that we put together a committee to make sure that we get a complete count. That is an effort being put forth by DeKalb County and is led by Commissioner Larry Johnson. We want to count 100% of the citizens in DeKalb County and definitely 100% of the citizens in the city of Stonecrest. So our commitment is to get everyone counted in Stonecrest. There are roughly 53,000 citizens in Stonecrest, and there's a process that needs to be put in place. And I think some of you might recall as to how the census works, and that is that the federal government will send a census card to you in the mail, probably sometime in March. You are obligated to fill it out and send it back in. Doing so, you are, or your household is counted. Once those cards are returned, and whoever is tabulating them determines that only 60% or 70% have been returned, they will have to determine where are the other cards. How do we get them counted? And that's what the committee is held accountable for doing, making sure we identify those who did not return the census request. And if we have to go knock on doors, we'll knock on doors. But we are expected to put together a committee, and it's called a Complete Count Committee. And the Complete Count Committee is expected to include various members of the community, such as your clergy, your HOAs, your school system, the political world, the public safety, and it goes on and on. There are probably about 10 different facets that we are looking at to make a part of this Complete Count Committee. So why is that so important? There's a list of 50 ways the data from the census is used. And one of the most critical ways is that we get funding. And that funding is roughly $2,000 per person. Let's say funding is not given for every person that's omitted. We lose roughly $2,000 that could come to our community. And that means, well, you can figure out what that means. But there's a list of 50 ways the census data is used. I get confused with this grammar. Data are used. I'm not going to read all 50, but let me give you the first 5. Decision making at all levels of government, drawing federal, state, and local legislative districts, attracting new businesses to state and local areas, distributing billions of federal funds and even more in state funds, forecasting future transportation needs for all segments of the population. And the list goes, like I said, on and on to at least 50 different ways the census is going to be used. And what we're asking the council to do this evening is to instruct our attorney and city manager to put together a resolution for the city of Stonecrest in support of the 2020 census. In addition to that, the mayor to appoint a complete count committee to actually work with the census directors. And I've been in touch with Commissioner Johnson's office, who put me in touch with some of the folks from the National Census Bureau to get the marching orders, so to speak, as to how to make this whole process happen. So the time to start talking about it is now. Really, we're kind of late in this game, but to pass the word and know that it will be done professionally and it will be done securely, and everybody needs to participate for, like I said, a number of reasons. And given that, let me also add, if you're looking for a part-time job or a full-time job, the Census Bureau is hiring. There are 72 jobs that they identified in the metro Atlanta area. If you are looking for a job, someone who's looking for a part-time job or some full-time jobs, I'll give you the address. It's the USA Jobs, JOBS.gov. And you can take it from there. Or if you want to see me after the meeting, then I'll share this with you, the flyer that they put out in reference to jobs that you might be able to help someone who needs a job. And given that, Mr. Mayor, I'm just asking that the council will vote to instruct the city attorney and city manager to draw up the resolution.
Okay. All right, council, and if you would please, Councilman George Turner, make the motion.
Mr. Mayor?
Sir?
I'm going to instruct the city attorney and city manager to draw up a resolution in support of the 2020 census.
All right, properly moved. I have a second.
Second.
And second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Councilman. So moved,
Yeah.
Mr. City Attorney. Yes, sir.
Now, will we need another motion for you to form the committee? You just want to appoint the committee?
I think you have to, if you're asking me, yes, you would want to take a vote to create a committee.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
In one set?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you're good, I'm good.
Okay. As long as we get a complete count committee, because we need to submit those names as well. So you can take care. So I think the mayor can just appoint a committee.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah. So what we'll do is, as we usually do, let's come up with the names, particularly including Councilwoman Cobble. And at the same time, as Mr. City Manager says, we'll do it. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
You could probably, if you didn't have them, maybe we got the names.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because usually we do. Yeah, usually we have the names. Yeah.
We look at representing each district.
Yes.
I would, oh, go ahead, Jordan, I'm sorry.
In this case, they're looking to get certain demographics, like they want to make sure they get the clergies, so they can reach that congregation that's in the city. They want to reach the schools that are in the city limits. You want to reach the HOAs in the city limits. So whether they come from districts or not, really doesn't matter. They want to make sure they get those demographics because they've identified certain areas that are considered difficult to count, like a lot where you have a heavy concentration of renters. We want to make sure we go in those areas once we get the list as to who did not return the census card. So that will come to us later on.
So the question Councilman Rob Turner had, so we go, do you want us to appoint by district, or you want to just find the people that you think that fit that certain?
We can do both because there's no limit to how many can be on the committee. And it was suggested that we have about 20 or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, you and Jack, couple. Yeah. Okay.
Not include all those names in the resolution, so we might have a.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Thank you for that, Councilman Joe Turner. I see no business. We have, we finished that. Mr. City Manager.
I don't have any business.
All right. Mr. City Attorney.
I'm good, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Deputy. Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Cobble. But you're going to drag it out on purpose, you know, so. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm very excited. I mean, we have some flyers in the back. District 3 is partnering with our Department of Parks and Recs and Stonecrest Fest to bring a pre-Stonecrest Fest event called Screen on the Green, an Entrepreneur Expo. It's in District 3 at Farrington Park. It's going to be on September 21st, which is a Saturday. And we're going to start at 5 o'clock, and we're going to have a live DJ, Stonecrest Fest Young Bosses. We're going to have merchandise vendors from District 3, and also we're inviting other merchandise vendors as well, but District 3 has kind of first priority. And then when the sun goes down, we're going to show a movie on the lawn at Farrington Park, and everything is absolutely free. It's just a fun family event in District 3, kind of commemorating the school year, but also just the work to come in our Farrington area. The flyers are on all of our social media outlets. They will get to the media outlets this week, and just keep a lookout for it. Bring your lawn chairs, and just come on out and have a good time. So if you, in the back, there are flyers. If you need to pick one up on your way out. And there's all kind of contact information on there, how to get a permit, if you want to be a merchandise vendor, and so on and so forth. We'll have food trucks. So just a really fun event on a Saturday at Farrington Park. So come and join us.
What day was that again, Councilwoman?
21st. September 21st. 2 Saturdays from now.
And times again?
We're going to start at 5 with all the other kind of activities, but once the sun goes down, we'll start the movie.
Okay, good deal. Councilman.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'd also like to announce on Saturday, September 14th, the DeKalb Cultural Exchange in collaboration with the South DeKalb NAACP will hold a candidates forum at 9 a.m. at the House of Hope, which is the Greater Travelers Rest Baptist Church on 4650 Flat Shoals Parkway. It's going to be a wonderful time. Come out, have breakfast, and come out and hear some directives and see the new people that are running for District 5 seat. So it's going to be very interesting. And I want to thank the Morgans for advertising. I'm thinking about Glenn Morgan over there. The Morgans. I'm not used to leaving this early. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say here. Used to being at about 10. But I want to thank them for the advertisement. But it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for you to come and ask questions and for the next people who are going to be representing you in District 5. Thank you.
Don't commit.
Can make a motion that we go back into executive session. No, just kidding.
Don't do that, man.
That's good. That's good.
On September 17, please join District 4 for a town hall meeting at the Big Middle Grove Missionary Baptist Church. We're going to talk about economic development, SPLOST activity, the 2020 census, and District 4 overlay. That's it.
All right.
Sorry. Oh, the time. We start at 7 p.m. and we should be gone by 8:30.
And what day was that, Councilman?
That is on the 17th. That's next Tuesday. And I'll send you a flyer.
And where was it going to be again?
Big Middle Grove
Middle Grove.
in the Fellowship Hall.
Okay. This Saturday at 9 a.m., I will be hosting our mayor's breakfast here at City Hall. And we will be meeting with all of our auxiliary boards, and the general public is also invited. I've also invited District 5 candidates who want to come and have a conversation with us about where they want to go and what needs to happen. And we will have, at that particular time, those ones that are chairing and members of the Development Authority, the Housing Authority, any members with regards to what we have here in Stonecrest, you're invited also. So that's this Saturday, September 14th at 9 a.m. right here at City Hall. Other than that, I'll take an adjournment. All right.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Y'all can stay here.